All right, what's going on, everyone? We are back for day 3 of the HitTrax Open. We are tuning into round 2 of bracket play. We have Janie Reed facing up against Lily Piper in the final single elimination game of the tournament. My name's Elena Bowman. I'm joined by my colleague Andrew Barry, and I am so excited to kick things off here today.
Yeah, some early morning HitTrax Open action. The 5 seed in Janie versus the 12 seed in Lily. If we are looking back to what these players have done, it's been a pretty. I'm sorry, Lily's a 15 seed. It's been a pretty crazy tournament so far. So I was gonna just kind of plant the seed that so far we've had a number of updates, and if you look at what happened yesterday, we already have in the championship series a 13 seed in Amber Schisler. So just because Lily's sitting here at the 15 seed, I think we're going to have a dogfight. These players have been all apparently very, very close together skill-wise from what we've seen.
Absolutely. And we just, quick update. Looks like Lily's having a little bit of trouble with her pitching machine all of a sudden. So I think she's trying to get that dialed in. I think we should be okay. But let's give her a second to try to figure that out.
Oh, the pitches are coming in. I see that.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get it dialed up.
So Janie looks like she's hitting out of Big Fly Athletics, which is where Sash Palacios was hitting yesterday out in San Marcos, California. And Lily is at Ohio State University. Is that right?
Yes, Lily is at her alma mater. She has been commuting from Cleveland, not because there's not systems in Cleveland, but because she wants to go back to her home base and be fed by her college hitting coach, Jordan Clark, and get the environment going out there at Ohio State. So pretty cool atmosphere they've got rolling. We saw the energy absolutely flowing in her first round win against Morgan Howe on Friday night. So, she's going to bring that energy. I couldn't agree with you more. I think this is going to be a total shootout. And I'm excited to see where we land after the 6th.
Okay, so it sounds like Tom, our awesome engineering guy, has mentioned that we are going to have to actually reset this game real quick. So I think there was just some ghost pitches coming in when they were testing out the machine, like you mentioned. So stand by. We're going to reset this game. I think we'll hop off for about 2 minutes while he creates that, and we'll re-enter the stream here very, very, very shortly. So stay tuned. This will be a very quick fix. We'll be right back.
Perfect. All right, and we're back. A brief little intermission. Looks like Piper, bottom right, had a little bit of trouble with her pitching machine, but everybody's dialed back in. And now, if you are just tuning in, you are in for a treat. We are in day 3 of the 2020 Fastpitch HitTrax Open bracket round. This is the final game of the single elimination format. You have the 5 seed, Jamie Reed, facing the 15 seed, Lily Piper. And my name's Elena Bowman. I'm joined by my colleague, Andrew Barry. And I think this is going to be an absolute shootout through the end of the 6th. Huh, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we have here. Again, so far it's been a crazy, crazy tournament. I've been calling it October Madness with the amount of upsets we've seen. So absolutely nothing is out of the question as you see Lily notch the first base hit of the game. I guess the second base hit. Janie's got one up there in the top on the left side as well.
Yeah, and that's 3 quick outs for Janie. I'm sure she's just getting dialed in. So if you're new to the bracket play format, the way this works, and that's a bomb out of pipe. That's a
Wow, look
hot
at that.
start. 2 runs on the board for Lily Piper. Something you're going to see throughout the duration of the game is her energy. She gets fired up in that cage. We saw her do it in her round and in her big opening round win against Morgan Howe on Friday night. So she's definitely going to be a fun one to watch and get that good energy flowing in the cage. So a little bit more about the format.
81 miles an hour.
She's feeling it. She is absolutely feeling it. We're going to go 6 innings. You have to, we advance inning by inning together. So as you see in the corner in the bottom left, Janie's got nothing to do but wait for Piper to finish her first inning. So Piper still has an out to play with a runner in scoring position. She's already put 2 on the board, but there's a lot of game left here to play. So we'll see if Piper can plate a couple more runs. Again, advantage to Piper here is Janie's got nothing to do but watch her continue to hit until Janie gets another opportunity to step in there in the second inning.
Yeah, and a lot on the line this game. So again, this is a round 2 matchup. The winner of this is advancing to the semifinal, which is going to be a 3-game series, a best of 3 series. So the both of these players have already guaranteed themselves $500 cash, and the winner of this is going to put themselves in a position to be guaranteed $1,000. So an extra $500 riding on the line here. So they have something to be competing for that just gets the competitive juices going a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So the winner of this game will be facing off against Emily Benson right after this in a best of 3-game series. So same format, but just a 3-game series versus single elimination. So to your point, Andrew, a lot riding on the line here. I like seeing Janie in the lower left-hand corner, starting to get her feel, not wasting any time. Not letting herself get in her head. But gosh, Piper's off to a start. That's already 8 runs through the first inning. I'll tell you what, Piper only put up 30 runs in all 3 games of the qualifying round. She is on a roll.
She's mashing. Every single ball is 78 to 80 plus miles an hour. Even that one right there, 81 miles an hour, 18 degrees. Again, 78 in the gap. She has got some pop behind her, and you see Janie on the left side of the screen just kind of laughing, looking at the screen. It is a helpless situation, so she's got to watch as Lily has taken full advantage and jumped up to almost a double-digit lead here in the first inning.
Yeah, pretty impressive start for Lily. These 2 competitors know each other pretty well. Both competed at Athletes Unlimited, and Janie knows that Piper can get on a run, but I'm sure vice versa. Piper also knows that Janie's got some pop behind her, so I'm sure she's going to be doing everything she can to keep padding this lead and not give Janie an opportunity to step back in and close it.
Look at this, 12 runs in the first inning, and there's another
back to
bomb.
back to back. Holy cow!
She's on fire.
Lily Piper.
Are you serious?
What a start out of her. I'm not sure what kind of juju's going on in that cage at Ohio State, but it doesn't seem like she can miss. And maybe I jinxed her.
And she can miss. There we go. She is human. So 13 runs through the first inning. Holy smokes, what an effort.
Wow. Looks like she's going to take some time, pick up balls. I wonder if JD takes some time also, and let's Piper get back into it. But an interesting thing to point out, if you've been following the qualifying round of the tournament or the first round of the tournament, the pitch speed is was set to 55 miles an hour plate speed. What we've done is we've adjusted that, so we saw a lot of bats go down in an effort to save some of these bats from breaking in half. We've minimized the pitch speed down to 50 miles per hour. Both players having the opportunity to take advantage of that. Piper, you see in the upper right, moving her pitch speed down to 52, 53 dialed in. Janie kind of, I guess, hovering a little bit around 53, 55. But I wonder how much that also has played a factor in Piper's ability to put 13 runs up on the board in only the second inning.
So we'll see. They should be playing simultaneously. We'll see if Lily steps up and starts taking some swings here. Looks like she's kind of just collecting herself after taking quite a few hacks there. But the players seem to really enjoy this format as well, from the feedback that we've heard, when they are actually they're seeing what you guys are seeing on the screen, but they also see the opponent's screen in the bottom left corner of their system there. So they're playing at these locations in real time, and they can actually see what's happening on the other side. And 2 quick outs again for Janie. She's got a runner on third. As we've seen throughout this whole tournament, you can see it with Lily still on a roll. As soon as you get into a rhythm, the runs can be put up. So 15 runs now, even though that's a big number. It's early in this game. Still plenty of time for Janie to make a move.
Yeah, and we got to see her push one across here. Runner in scoring position. She's still got an out to work with. I really like seeing Janie. It's kind of fun, to watch these elite competitors, what they do in those moments off. So we've seen her take a couple extra swings. We've seen her go through a couple progressions. I think we saw her do a little fungo with a baseball into the net, and look at her get dialed in, a base knock up the middle, puts her first run on the board. I think Janie's definitely going to get dialed in. I think this thing is far from over.
And Lily drops another bomb to center field to make it 17 runs. Janie seems to be just missing the balls. It does take a little bit to get used to this pitching machine. These players haven't played since Friday, so maybe she just has to get her timing back in. She seems like she's right on these swings, just a little bit underneath her on top of each one, fouling a few of these off.
Oh, that's a shot. That's a tough out. So Janie Reed, she's a graduate from the University of Oregon. She currently plays for Team USA. She had a fantastic showing at Athletes Unlimited. We had an opportunity to chat with her a little bit about her game. And that's another tank by Piper. Holy cow, 275 feet. Get off me, Lily Piper. You see her smiling, getting hyped up in the cage. That's awesome. But what I was going to say about Janie, she's really redesigned her swing throughout the course of her career. Another one for Piper.
Wow.
Dang, Pipe. Look at you go. That's awesome. And I think Janie's going to adjust here. Is my whole point of that is, she talks a lot about going from a slapper in high school to a hitter in college, and now in the second half of her professional career, really finding her power stroke. And I think players that figure out a way to adjust like that throughout the course of their career, they also figure out a really great way to adjust throughout games. Just pitch to pitch adjustment. So again, the Piper's off to quite a start here with 22 runs that make it 23 in only the second inning. But I think we're going to see Janie start to make some adjustments and put some runs up on the board as we go through the game.
Yeah, this is an impressive display here so far. Even her ground balls seem to be finding every hole right now. She started out the game 26 for 31. So she's already taken 31 swings with runners on first and third, and another 3-run bomb.
That's a bomb. Lily Piper, holy cow. Again, she only put up 30 runs in the qualifying round in 3 games, and now she's already up to 27 runs in 2 innings.
Wow. And you can see her. You talked about kind of her attitude and having a lot of fun with this. You can see her after every swing. It's glitching a little bit, but she's moving around, looking at the screen. Just kind of stepping out, walking around the batter's box before she steps back in. She's got a really good feel. She just looks comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. She's in a great rhythm. Again, I go back to the environment that she's in right there. She's at home. She's playing at her alma mater. I think some of her old teammates are around her in the cage. She's being fed by her collegiate hitting coach, Jordan Clark. I think she's got her family there as well, you know. So it's really that game day atmosphere that just allows you to step in the box and hit 261-foot bombs back to back to back relentlessly. But I think that has a lot to do with it. Is to your point, just finding your rhythm, and being comfortable, playing loose, having fun, and the people around you have a big piece of that.
Look at this, 30 runs through 1 2/3 innings. She's
Wow,
found.
she would be up there right now in that Jesse Warren Amanda Chittister game. Those two put up 30 runs through the first couple of innings as well in that matchup, and that is by far the highest scoring total games that we've seen. We saw Emily Benson put up 54 runs yesterday in her performance against Hannah Flippin. But I mean, Pipe's really on pace to blow
So,
that out of the water here.
and I don't know if you saw that, but she actually hit a single to left field, but she hit it too hard, so the left fielder was able to throw the runner out at second. That's the kind of break that needed to end that inning, because otherwise I think she would still be hitting and may never end.
Well, I got to ask you, what do you want to see Janie do here? What do you want to see her do to get back in this game?
To be honest with you, I've played a lot of these games online before, and I think it really helps mentally when you are not the first one on your own to start out the inning, and you kind of let the other player start up with you. So I would be
Mm,
very patient, but she steps up and gets a base hit. So again, she just has to find her own rhythm. And we've seen every player throughout the course of this tournament do this. There's a double in the
yep,
gap, and Lily's stepping up. So now we got this back-to-back action, and
yep.
just getting that kind of flow is really going to help out. And Janie needs to get in that same rhythm, which we know she can do.
hmm And so far today, we haven't seen Janie reach the same velos as she was in her first round matchup. Before she was barreling up pretty consistently at 77, 78 miles an hour. We've seen her kind of near the 60s today. So again, maybe
Hmm.
that day off or yesterday they didn't compete, so she doesn't give her an opportunity to stay loose and stay in rhythm. But we know she has the ability to put the ball out of the park. We know she has the ability to strike it well. So we just got to see her get behind a couple softballs and find her rhythm again.
Yeah, you saw her on that pop up, a little bit frustrated. But there you go. See, she takes a couple pitches. Now they're going to go make some adjustments to the pitching machine. Looks like she wasn't really happy with those 2 pitches, and each player gets 4 pitches per at bat. So if they don't put a ball in play through 4 pitches, then it's an out, as Lily just mashes another 81-mile-an-hour double into the opposite field gap. 34 runs for Lily.
And she is not slowing down. Holy
Wow.
cow.
And there's a
That's a good
73
shot
mile
from
an hour
Janie.
knock. Yep, that's what she needs right there.
That's a good shot.
So I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that? I'm seeing the
Yeah,
feed.
I'm not really sure what's going on.
I'm not really sure what Janie is seeing either. It appears as though on G's side, she probably just got a single up the middle after that double or triple in the gap that we saw. We'll see if her screen catches up or if we have to take a look at that. Lily with a fly out to right field. That's her first out. There you go. Now we're back. So Janie now has 3 runs, just flew out to center, runners on first and third with 2 outs. Sacrifice fly there, so she got a run in there. So now 2 outs, runner on first, 4 runs in. I think she's going to have to cut into this lead a little bit here, moving into the 4th inning.
Yeah, it seems like that pitching machine on Janie's side throwing a lot of balls, and those are good takes for her. I like seeing her being so patient and not attacking pitches out of the zone. But when you only have the four and the first two are coming in as balls, it's tough. Um, so far, not the start we expected out of Janie, but again, you can catch your rhythm at any point. You can catch some fire at any point in this game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her do it. But she's going to have to do it in the 4th inning if she does.
Yeah, look at this. So 4 runs, good inning. She started to step things up there and square the ball up. Lily records an out, which is very rare at this point. She's got 2 outs through 2 2/3 innings and 42 runs. She's 45 for 52 so far.
Wow. That's an 80-mile-an-hour shot off her bat. I mean, she is just squaring it up.
So I think while Lily is going off here, just a big shout out to both of these facilities, especially Big Fly Athletics. I know they've done some serious work scheduling for all of the players that have competed there, especially yesterday with Sosh. I think they stayed open and they actually opened up just for her. So that's just a great facility in San Marcos, California. If you've never used HitTrax and you're watching and you want to go find a system, please feel free and reach out to us. We would love to hook you up. There's plenty of facilities all over the country, big towns, small towns. So shout out to these facilities and all the facilities. We've seen a lot of D-bats get in on the action. And I think what's really cool is we've seen, like you said, Lily's alma mater, Ohio State, and a few other universities allow the players to come back and jump back in and compete, which has been a really cool effort from this entire community.
Yeah, no doubt. And to your, that's another shot from Lily. Holy cow!
Wow.
You almost want to tell her to save a little bit at this point. She's gonna. If the score stays as is, she'll be moving on to face Emily Benson, which will be a high-scoring game at this rate. But to your point, Andrew, just a total team effort to put this tournament on. Janie, she let us know that Rawlings softball stepped up pretty big to get her a couple buckets of hard balls, 2 dozen hard balls, so she could use in the machine. I know a lot of bat companies maybe are a little frustrated with this tournament having to expedite bats out for these players to compete, but they've been awesome in doing that. And then just getting things rolling and to your point, the facilities, I know a lot of the families have crowded around and watched the feeds and coaches getting involved. And it's just been really fun to see communities of support and people rally around their players and this tournament.
You could see as Lily was rounding out that inning, Janie was just sitting at the screen watching, and she just it looked like there was some air taken out of her, but we'll see what she can do. She's going to stretch and get loose here and hopefully just have a little bit of fun. I think at this point you got to turn this into you got to kind of flip the switch mentally, take a deep breath just like she just did, and get back in your rhythm and have some fun here. Just spray the ball around the park a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Janie is being fed by her husband, who's also a Major League Baseball player. So, it sounds like they're a great support system for each other within the game, obviously outside the lines. But, you hope he's able to give her adjustments to keep things loose. Yesterday in that same Big Fly Athletics cage, we saw Sosh turn up the music, start getting her dance moves flowing. And that was a difference maker for her. It was just, when she seemed like when she started having fun, is when she started putting those runs back up on the board. So, there's nothing in this game that's unsurmountable. But, she's going to start cracking to this lead. She's got half a game left to do it.
And she just had a pop-up that came down and registered as a ground out. That will happen, and these athletes are prepared to know that that can be the case, and they're going to have to deal with that. Most likely in those scenarios, those balls would have been caught by the catcher in foul territory, so that's a big bummer, especially not wanting to spare any outs, but she's going to have to roll with it as Lily just puts another ball 70 miles an hour. That one a little bit too high at 42 degrees with the launch angle caught by the center fielder. Still, She's at 48 runs with 1 out here. So we've seen a few players. If you look back, we mentioned Emily Benson. So Emily, in her first round game, only put up, I say only, but she put up 22 runs in a win against Brittany Cervantes. She moved on to play Hannah Flippen, who was the 16 seed that upset the 1 seed. And Hannah put up 30 runs, but Emily outdid her with 54 runs through that round 2 matchup to send herself to the semifinals. So we've really seen players, just like we've said, when they get into a rhythm, they can go. And I think especially with this pitch speed at minimum of 50 here, it's going to help out a lot of players and hopefully avoid breaking the bats, but also, allow them to put up some serious numbers like we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and Pipe is not slowing down. She is just continuing to barrel 4 more runs, and she's going to be put up the highest score of the qualifying round, or the bracket round, I'm sorry, so far in a single game. And she's setting herself up for a matchup against Emily Benson, the second highest scorer, if Pipe is able to put up an additional 4 runs here within the next 2 innings, which isn't going to be very surprising that she does it. So we'll see how this plays out. I think it's going to be quite the matchup between the two moving into the semifinals. And I don't want to speak too soon, but Janie's going to have to start chipping away at this lead if we're going to see something different.
No, I think you're safe to say that at this point. And I wonder at what point, because these players are taking a lot of swings. Lily's up to 65 swings already, and she's going to have to step into a 3-game semifinal series. At what point do you maybe not go for 60 or 70 runs and just kind of shorten things up a little bit? I mean, she's hitting the ball 71 miles an hour. They're still in the gap. So I just wonder if fatigue is going to wear in, or if the durability of the bats plays a factor.
Yeah,
because it seems as though it seems like this lead is pretty safe at this point.
Yeah, and Piper, she's so full of energy. You can see it by the way she plays. But just to talk a little bit about her journey through this, she's been, again, we talked about it earlier on the stream. She lives in Cleveland, Ohio. She's been commuting to Columbus, which is about a 2-hour drive, just so that she can compete at her alma mater with her hitting coach, Jordan Clark. So she plays a late game Friday night. That ended up going until like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. She works for Amazon. It's Amazon Prime Week. So she had a 7 a.m. shift on Saturday morning, had to make the commute all the way back to Cleveland, get up early, and then drive back. I don't know if she ended up going late last night or first thing this morning back to Columbus, but she's done a lot. Oh, that's a good shot from Janie. That's good enough to get out.
It is.
Oh, it seems like
top
things
of the
just
wall
aren't falling for Janie today. When it doesn't fall, it doesn't fall. I can't believe that shot did not scrape over the top of the wall, but in for a double. It's definitely better than an out. So she's got to start stringing some stuff like that together. But anyway, just a really impressive effort by Piper to make things happen here. And you got to be happy for her with this display of power to just get in that box and show everybody what she's got.
Yeah, this is really impressive. 55 runs. That's the most that we've seen through any game thus far. She's on pace to double what she put up in the qualifying round through 3 games. She does have all 3 outs. So this is kind of where now, the advantage is to Janie in this situation. Hopefully she can step up and get a little bit of a rhythm. That one's just a little bit too high. 52 degrees, going to be a fly out for her second out, but it doesn't take much. Even with 1 out remaining, she can string a few hits together here, put herself up into double digits, put on a show for the crowd. We'll see if she can have some fun with it. She's already put $500 in her pocket, along with some swag from HitTrax and Lizard Skins, and Marucci will be giving away a few things. Those are our 2 primary sponsors of the HitTrax Open, so shout out to them as well. The pitches, like you said earlier, she's had the machine throwing somewhat up in the strike zone, it appears.
And
Which I don't know if that's intentional or not.
yeah, it's interesting. Janie let us know that in college she handled the up pitch well, had kind of a level barrel through the zone. She started playing. That's a shot. Get down ball. Doesn't carry. Um, Started playing against Japan, and Japan throws a lot of down balls. So when she was playing abroad for Team USA, she had to figure out how to adjust and change her swing to start seeing success with pitches down in the zone. So I don't know what she's more comfortable with, that up pitch or that down pitch. To your point, it looks like that ball is high and out today. We kind of saw a little bit in the same thing. I'm assuming it's the same machine that Sasha was facing yesterday. She had a couple at bats where she had to dial it in, but it doesn't look like so far Janie's been able to catch it in the sweet spot and find her rhythm.
No, and once again, the story of this is the upset. We've got Lily as the 15 seed with 55 runs, and Janie as the 5 seed with 5 runs. So, as it stands in the semifinals, we will have a 15 seed versus 7 seed, and yesterday we had a 9 versus a 13. So it's really been anybody's ball game, and we already have Amber Schisler from last night advancing past Sasha in a 2-1 best of 3 series. Amber, as the 13 seed, is already in the championship round. So
yeah, and the format is interesting. It plays to true March Madness fashion with the single game elimination. That's another bomb from Pipe. Now it looks like she's just trying to keep her rhythm. Going into looks like probably the next game. We should be going at bat here for at bat in the 6th inning.
I think Lily just is just too amped up.
I think Lily's just doing what she wants to do.
She's just going to keep swinging.
Yeah. We're going to have to make an adjustment on that one in the semifinals. But and maybe Janie does this here. Maybe she just takes her time. She sees how it plays out on Lily's side of things.
Yeah, and we saw, so far, just an awesome tournament from Janie Reed. She in the qualifier put up 68 runs through 3 games, so she's got some serious pop in her bat with a max velo, like you said, of 83, which, it is interesting to kind of hear what she'll say after this, because she hasn't really gotten around that too often. But Janie in the first round took down Morgan. That was Lily took down Morgan Howe. Janie took down Jordan Roberts with a 16-10 win to move on. And again, she's already got $500 in her pocket. Just a great tournament from Janie so far. So, you'd love to see her go down here swinging and putting up some runs to make this fun. As you see on the other side, Lily Piper at 61 runs now is just sending a message to her next competitor, Emily Benson, that, all right, you can put up 54, I can do one better.
Yeah, you better come to play, Emily. I hope you had a big breakfast. I think that's what Lily's saying here. Holy cow. Finally makes her 3rd out. That's going to end the round for Lily Piper. That's the end of the 6th. Janie still has 3 outs to work with. Andrew, I'd love to see her come back here. I'd love to see her put up 25 runs in a row. I don't ever count anybody on Team USA out. I think there's a lot of fight that goes into making that roster. So I think Janie's going to fight until she makes that last out. But it's a pretty solid lead that Piper's built here through the 6th.
No, I respect that. These athletes are competitors. Janie on Team USA and both of these players, Janie and Lily, and Athletes Unlimited, they're not going down without a fight. At this point, I think we can safely say Lily will be moving on, but I completely agree with you. Janie is not going to roll over. She is going to take her best swings all the way through the end of this and see what she can make of it. Even that last line out to center was a really good stroke, just right at the center fielder.
Nothing's falling for Janie today. And some days are like that. That was a ball that previously. I think in prior rounds, she was elevating a little bit more. She was hitting at that 12-degree, 13-degree launch angle versus the 6. And that's just not getting over the second baseman. You know, it's a well-struck ball. It's just right at him. And unfortunately, it hasn't been Janie's day in that regard.
I'd like to see her right now drop her back shoulder and try and hit this ball 300 feet. Just see how far you can hit it.
Yeah, I like that. Come on, Janie. Show us what you got.
Send it out of the park. Opposite
Foul
field.
ball.
Oh, foul ball. Okay.
All right, she gets another shot here. Let's see if I'd like to see her do that too, Andrew. Come on, Janie. Put one 300 feet. It's her third pitch. She'll get one more. And a ground out to end the game. And that's kind of been the story for Janie Reed here in this matchup. Hard hit balls right at people. Janie, you're one heck of a competitor. I think I just saw her say, I couldn't hear her say, but it said, "Let's go, Piper, go win the Open." I think that's what she said. Amazing competitor, amazing journey throughout the tournament. Great job, Janie. Thanks for playing. Piper's moving on to the semifinal matchup against Emily Benson. Just what a showing out of Piper, huh? What a statement game.
My goodness. 60 plus runs as the 15 seed coming in. She advances to the semifinals to play Emily Benson. Really looking forward to that matchup. Emily put up 54 runs last game. Like you said, Janie Reed, unbelievable tournament. Absolutely not walking away empty-handed. And Lily, if you look at her stat line, she was 68 for 84, 20 home runs on 94 pitches. Just an absolute offensive fireworks show. So from Lily. So we can be excited about what's coming up for the semifinals. Do we know the schedule today for those semifinal matchups?
Yes. So we will be kicking off at 10:30 Pacific with Emily Benson. That's 1:30 Eastern. We are going best of 3 game series. So obviously we'll have the back-to-back. If somebody forces a game 3, we'll play it right through. You have Lily Piper, who put up the single game most runs in the bracket round so far at 61 runs, going against the number 2 run scorer in the bracket round at 54 runs, Emily Benson. I think we're going to have one heck of a matchup.
Let's go. I'm excited. This is going to be a great game.
So tune back in. We will be coming at you live on our YouTube channel, on our website. Follow us, tag us at 1:30 Eastern. We're looking forward to seeing you here.